Hello everybody, it's Tonic TZW, and in the words of the great Sir Michael Caine, you're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. So here we are with the Italian job, sailing the Tier 6 battleship, the Francesco Caracciolo. And I've got my friends Dustin and Bobby in with me. Dustin's in the DD, and Bobby is in the Talon, and he was asking what is so special about these Italian battleships, and I said, well, let's take one out and see if we can show you how it's done, because I had a lot of fun grinding through this ship up to the tier 7. Although I finished researching, unlocked and fully upgrading the tier 7, I don't play it that much, but in a division, this ship is just absolutely classic. And like everything watching replays back, you think, this game could have been so much better, because there's some sneaky, I don't want to say kill sniping, shall I say there's some sneaky pickups of ships that I do a lot of damage from, and just as I'm about to unload and claim a kill, somebody else does it for me. We won't mention anything about the York and the Ismail, who just sit on this left flank as we push through, because we all know that as we look at the minimap, the left side of the minimap is strong for red team, and the right side of the minimap is strong for blue team. So we decide we are literally going to go meatballs to the wall, and we are going to, well, I say rush, we're in a battleship, but this thing is relatively swift. So we're going to push down and see what damage we can start doing to these guys parked at the bottom of the pass. So Dustin is off leading in his DD. He's spotting the targets for us, and we're just looking at what we can get our shots on first. We're cautious that the red team DD might be out here, and unfortunately Bobby takes a full salvo from one of the battleships and gets detonated. I think it was the Leon that got him. The Talon, it may be a good ship to output the damage, but when you get caught on your side, it's back to port. So Bobby is going to follow us around with his camera and watch what we do in this game with this ship. Now, I don't have the premium commander for this ship. I didn't have 5,000 doubloons to throw at the pixels that make it up, so I'm just running the standard Italian commander, and I'm running a full secondary build. Now, I don't play this ship enough, and I do hit my rolling smoke a couple of times at the wrong time, but we're still going to have a jolly good time out of this. Now, you probably saw from the splash screen what the end damage score is on this, and the current record is 230,000, and watching this replay, I think I really could have beaten that record had I just taken a few more shots a couple of seconds earlier. But I might give that a go again in the future. So we slow down behind the what's called the lion's head to get our guns turned around, and we're going to come out from under that because we know that there are ships spotted, and we are going to pop our rolling smoke, knowing that we've come into range of all three of these ships. Now the cruiser, I think, pops up his smoke, or he's unsighted. So we are going to turn on up to our broadside. We're going to let those fires burn because we can't be seen. And we are going to let these secondaries go to work. We've hit the secondary booster, and we start to take chunks off these guys. We've got our main guns over there, but we're not going to fire just yet, because if we do, we get our smoke penalty. But I'm kind of wishing that I had fired at that Leon, or I had fired at that cruiser when he popped up, because I think that would have pushed me close to that damage record. But we bang on the Leon, we take a chunk off him. Sadly, no citadels, but they can now see me, so their secondaries start up, and they all start to have a go at me. Now, if we watch that ship behind me, that's currently the focus of my secondaries. The York picks up the kill there, so not leaving it for me to claim the first kill of my match. But our smoke runs out. We are pushing round the corner. We know we've got the Leon, we've got the cruiser there. And as I move down this gap, I know that I've got red team off to my right flank. And that's going to be dangerous. But thankfully for me, they're going to be firing higher explosive. So they're not going to do as much damage as they thought they could. And just as I'm coming around the corner there, you see the Ismail pick up the Leon kill. Now I know there's still a cruiser there. He's got torpedoes, so I'm going to have a swift change of direction. He gets himself spotted, and we let the secondaries go to work on him again. And he's kind of backing out there, and he's right on the limit of range of my secondaries at 6.7 kilometers. So I slow down, get my guns around, and thankfully for me, he starts moving forward and brings himself back into range of my secondaries. So we're just going to pop some shots out there. We do get a hit. We get some overpens, which is surprising, but I think that's Mr. Jaujard at work, isn't it? But we let the secondaries carry on doing their work, and I'm half expecting this guy to be picked up, should I say, in place of sniped. But we do get our first kill in the game any second now. There we go. Bop, bop. Come on, you got to be faster than that, boys. There we go. That gives us a close quarters expert. Now we see out in front of us there's a New Orleans, and I think he's aware of my secondary range because he starts to go away from me. But I've got the turrets loaded and we get those shots off, and here is where we start pulling in. We see all that HE come over. We can see that there are ships right on the limit of my range on the 9 o'clock of the minimap, but we're going to keep popping at this New Orleans. And once again, although I try to cover myself with the smoke screen from those ships on my right, I forget that I have just fired my guns and therefore have a smoke penalty. So the only thing I can do is run as fast as I can through this gap and stop myself from being spotted. And I know that there is a ship there just off to my right, the Helena. Now, he probably isn't as wise as the New Orleans is, because I take the time to bring my guns round on him. I have got a secondary reload booster running. Nobody can see me yet, and this has got to be one of my most favourite mechanics in this game, is how you can sail a battleship completely unseen straight into the middle of the enemy. But it also has its downsides, because as I break through my smoke, I see shots come out there, and there's a battleship that I didn't know was there. But we're going to stay focused on this Helena. We're going to open up on the secondaries. We put our secondary booster on. He is the focused target, and the New Orleans seems intent on spamming HE. And a misclick of the thumb there starts my my heel going up, which I really wish I hadn't done, because it could have saved me a few hit points later on in the game. But we were at a significant disadvantage with only 4 ships left, and I think the red team had 6 or 7 left. But Dustin was able to rush all the way back to the cap and get that reset and kill the red team destroyer. We pick up our second close quarters expert, and here is a place where I decide to turn into the New Mexico, let the secondaries stay at work on the New Orleans. We pick up a high caliber on 119,000 damage, and we bang off a couple of shots at this New Mexico as we pick up a Confederate. So I think that's 6 ships that we've shot at and done a significant amount of damage to already. We've managed to pull it back to 4 ships to 3, and I am in the middle of the most amazing brawl. New Mexico becomes the focus of my guns at the moment. Now I don't want to get too broadside to him, so I decide to pull a turn in and get my main guns off. But in doing so, I'm about to run into the upturned hull of the Helena. So we bang a couple of more shots at that New Mexico. The secondaries manage to get themselves turned and round, and here is where afterthought works wonders, because I think I should have stayed on this New Orleans, and you'll see why a little bit later in the game. Because he's been quite clever in spamming me with HE and lighting fires. But I'm going to stay focused on this New Mexico. We get our secondaries onto him, and we keep plugging away the shots one at a time, because out in front of us we can see a Poltava as well. And I'm thinking, well, he's broadside to us, so he's quite a ripe shot, but we need this New Mexico out of the way first. So we bang the 2 turrets off him. He's still floating. It's like chip, chip, chip away. We run the smoke again, and again I forget that I've just fired my guns and I can still be spotted. But the fact that Dustin is out there in this destroyer means that that guy is still spotted. We pick up kill number 3, and we trying to look behind us for that New Orleans, and I think I should have popped a shot at him again, but he goes unsighted, so we turn our attention to the Poltava. Now this is probably where I lost the damage record, apart from those ships at the start, because Dustin pops his smoke and puts torps out, and then the Poltava disappears. So although I had guns right about ready to drill through the side of him, Dustin's torpedo picks up a large chunk of the damage on the Poltava. I can't see him, and I'm shouting at Dustin, all I need to do is see him and I can finish him. So we come around, we get 2 guns on, and bang, he is out of there with a Citadel, and we're up to 198,000 damage. There is 1 ship left in the game. It is the New Orleans that I failed to focus and finish as we came through their cap. But we have come from a significant disadvantage against Red Team to bring it back where we are looking at a win. Red Team probably thought they had this one on the bag, because they were probably around 95% complete on a total cap of our base, but Dustin ran back there and saved the day. Now I feel a bit safer because I'm in Wilterbury build range. Dustin gives me a little tickle on the arse with his torpedoes, just as a friendly gesture of good game, mate. We were in party chat and having a bit of banter, and we're looking at the score, at the medals and things, and we're thinking, if we can hit this New Orleans, we're on for a cracking. So we start heading back to the base to cap it, but also to see if we can get sight on this New Orleans. Now the only other ship that is left in the game is the Ismail, and he was, shall we say, very selective about when he was firing his shots earlier in the game, and a little bit like the York. So we're thinking, we want to get close to this guy and get him spotted, but we want to get the shots on. The guy gets spotted, we're going towards him as fast as we can, and we can see that he's heading for that island, obviously looking to run for cover and survive. At this point, I think that RNG had been listening to our conversation, because as good as the shooting has been up until now, RNG is now going to troll us. And this is what annoys me. If I'd had a premium commander on this Italian battleship, would I have been able to shoot better? I haven't got 5,000 doubloons to find out. But we see the guy running, and we do a spread of shots across there, knowing we've got time for at least one other reload. And those shots just land everywhere but on that ship. And that is frankly shocking to have dispersion that bad. But we're going to continue to push in. We're not going to let him get out of our sight. We've got 4 turrets coming up again. He is starting to angle out from us, putting himself broadside to the Nagato, who I don't think can... not the Nagato, the Ismail. We fire again. The Ismail gets a shot on, but I think he's firing HE and completely misses. So once again, he's trying to pick up a kill. Looking at the clock, it's ticking down. looking at my reload, it's ticking down. We haven't got the time to do this. And so the Kraken evades us. As I reload and fire in one gesture of defiance, the game ends. We pick up a Dreadnought and Fireproof for a tally of 199,250, high caliber Dreadnought Confederate 2 close quarters and a Fireproof. I really hope you had as much fun watching that one as I did playing it. As always, don't forget to hit that like button. If it's your first time past the channel, hit subscribe, hit the notification, and I'll keep the content coming. Take it easy. See you next time.